Ahoy! I have reviewed Moza Mini-P gimbal on this channel in November 2020. I've used it to film one of the favorite Mustang B-roll videos. I'll link it below. Moza is back with an upgraded version called Moza Mini-P MAX. I have reviewed other 3-in-1 gimbals on this channel, and from all those gimbals I actually reviewed, this one has the best apps when it comes to filming with smartphones and mirrorless cameras. It has more options. Let's do in-depth review. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Zdenka Darula. This channel is all about photography and video, creative camera challenges, hidden giveaways, and vlogs. If that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing. This is the older version, Moza Mini-P, and this is the new version, Moza Mini-P MAX. First of all, each axis motor has now lock, so you can stabilize the camera or smartphone easier. That is quite standard with all newly released gimbals. The body of the gimbal is pretty much the same as before, they only changed the look of it. It is now certainly easier to see all the buttons. The major change is happening at the top. They made the arm stronger, so it can handle a bit more. They also added a quick release plate. This is a very welcomed update, as now you can easily remove your camera if you need to. For the smartphone, it is the same as before, you just take it off from the clamp. Payload has been also increased from 900 grams to 1 kilogram. Minimum payload is 130 grams. The gimbal is foldable, so you can nicely fit it into a backpack or include it carry bag. Moza Mini-P MAX also comes with a carry bag, Type-C charging cable, another cable to connect Sony cameras, and clamp to attach smartphones. If you have other cameras such as Canon and Panasonic, you have to buy the cable separately. The gimbal weighs 710 grams, charging time is 3 hours, and once the battery is fully charged, you will get up to 20 hours from this gimbal. The mirrorless camera I'm gonna be using with this gimbal is Canon M6 Mark II, and I happen to have a cable here, so I'm gonna connect it. Just to give you a heads up, Canon cameras are the only ones where you cannot use the record button on the gimbal to start and stop recording. You can do that with all other cameras such as Sony. The balancing I found very easy with the newly added locks. Let's go straight to stabilization test with the Canon camera. Here is regular walk, soft ninja walk, and full speed run. Let's move on to the smartphone. I'm gonna be using iPhone 13 Pro. Since this gimbal can handle up to 1 kilogram payload, you can load it with extra lenses and filters, you name it. The only thing is that every time you're going to add something, you have to rebalance that gimbal manually. I'm going to be using their app called Moza Genie to perform a stabilization test. In the app, you can select different levels of stabilization. You have a choice of standard, cinematic, and automatic, which will take you to extended movie level. I'm going to go with automatic. Let's do hard walk. Soft ninja walk. And full speed run. I must admit that I always liked stabilization on this gimbal. With smartphones, it's smooth. Let's check out the main interface of the gimbal. Although the look of this interface has been redesigned, no screen has been added. What they did though is the light here. You will know that you changed mode if the colors of the light changes or start flashing. You still have to memorize what each button does, so this is still quite outdated when you compare it to all the other newly released 3-in-1 gimbals. Power button is here, long press to turn it on and off. Short press is to put the gimbal to sleep mode. This is where you charge it. The joystick button is a typical joystick. The more you press, the faster the gimbal will move the camera. When you turn on the gimbal, you will be in pan follow mode. If you press trigger and hold, you will be in tilt follow mode. If you press trigger 3 times and hold, you will be in all locked mode. To get to FPV mode, you will press this left button 2 times, and you will get out of it the same way. If you double press the bottom button, you will be in sports mode. If you press 3 times, you will get to inception mode, where you get the beautiful continuous rotation movement. Zoom buttons are here on the side. If you want to recenter the gimbal, you will double press the trigger, and if you want to spin the camera around to a selfie mode, you will press 3 times. The range of motion of this gimbal is quite large. Tilt and roll is 330 degrees, and pan is full continuous movement, 360 degrees. Where the gimbal scores high points are the apps. Let's check out first the Moza Genie app, which is for smartphones. With iPhone, you will get filming in 24, 30, and 60 frames per second in 4K, 1080p, and 720p. If you want to film in 120 and 240 frames per second, you can do it in 1080p or 720p. You can film in automatic and manual mode. Zoom is unfortunately purely digital. You cannot switch between lenses. In the settings, you can turn on camera light, grid, choose aspect ratio, select safe area. You can live stream, choose what stabilization you prefer, and enable many things. Recording reminder flashing, silent recording, recording noise reductions, recording gain, mixed background music, volume key recording, spirit level, overexposure tips, full screen review, and here you can also reset all settings. Under gimbal controls, you can choose how fast you want the zoom to happen when you press automatic zoom. You can also save current parameters, you can restore factory defaults, and here you can also calibrate your gimbal. Next to settings, you have filters. There is quite a large selection there. Let's test tracking mode. Alright, so I selected myself for tracking, and it loses me here and there. So for slow tracking, it works great. But if you're gonna be moving very fast, I'm finding that here and there, actually now it's holding well. Maybe it depends. Not bad, not bad. It's actually quite good now. Yeah. Tracking is pretty good. Here we go. On the other side of the gimbal, you can switch between rear and front cameras, and you can enable gesture control. Shooting modes are photo, video, time-lapse, motion time-lapse, and slow motion. If you have an Android phone, you might run into some limitations depending on what Android phone you have. They are all very different. If you ask me if your phone is compatible with this gimbal, I won't know the answer. It is best to ask Moza directly. However, I do have Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus here, so let's check out the app, what the limitations are. You are not going to get 24 frames per second in automatic mode, but in manual mode only. You can only film at 30 frames per second in automatic mode. In manual mode, you can also film in 120 and 240 frames per second. In slow motion mode, you can film 2 times, 4 times, and 8 times slow motion. And when it comes to stabilization, you're only going to get 1 level. If you're going to use an actual camera with this gimbal, you can use Moza Master App to get further creative options. At the top, you can see the battery level. You can use a smartphone as a remote control. You can control gimbal settings, adjust motor parameters, calibrate the gimbal, and save configurations. Creative Video offers motion time-lapse, track recording, variable speed time-lapse, object tracking, and fixed point time-lapse. You can check if the gimbal is properly balanced, and you can link this gimbal with Moza SlidePod. This gimbal has some great features and very welcomed updates. The only downside to this gimbal is that you cannot mount the camera or the smartphone in vertical mode, only in horizontal, like this. That's it. When I was filming the Mustang video with the previous version of Moza Mini-P and my smartphone, I chose to film with this gimbal because of the payload, the motor strength, the stabilization, and simply how it feels when you use it. It feels very sturdy. I wasn't filming in Moza Genie app. I was using Filmic Pro back then. I'm glad this new updated version is out. Link to this product can be found below the video in the video description for those who are interested in checking this out. Give it a thumbs up if you found this video informative, and don't forget to subscribe for more. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ahoj.